Hi guys. Hi. What's up? I'm Christiana. I am a singer, songwriter, and a worship leader. Um, Today I'm going to be talking about what I have learned on this journey of ministry and what God has taught me and my shortcomings and my achievements. We'll be talking more about the shortcomings because they're what have taught me the most. And yeah, today I'm just talking about what I've learned basically and how I believe that it is an important message for us all. I believe in sharing stories and sharing testimonies, and whenever I hear people's stories, I'm always blessed. So I know there is power in this. I don't know how it's going to happen, but I just know God has a way because He's the one who instructed it. Okay, fine. Let's get into the point. I joined ministry when I was around 15. That was like 2, 3 years ago. Yes. And it was kind of like a peer pressure situation. I didn't really want to. I didn't want to at all, actually. But I ended up doing it because I wanted to be with my friends. So I joined this thing and I'm given the opportunity to minister several times through singing, right? So that was very interesting time for me because I had I don't I had no idea what I was doing. And when I realized the importance of the ministry I was carrying, I became afraid because I was like, how can God give me this ministry? Why would He put something so important on the heart of a girl like mine, like me? And I was worried that I was going to fail and I wasn't going to do it right. And I've seen so many singers and worship leaders out there be so um make significant impact and be so impactful and stuff like that. And I wasn't sure that I was going to be able to do that. So I was afraid. It required a lot of, I realized that it required a lot of prayer and Bible study and holy living and all these things, which I wasn't doing and I didn't even know if I wasn't sure I wanted to do them. I wasn't sure I was able to do it. And I didn't know how I was going to do it in case I tried. So I struggled in this lane by myself a little bit because I got this mindset of, okay, fine, if God has called me here, let me try to purify myself and make myself right, straighten up my ways such that I don't mess this up and I'm able to minister, do the right thing, and God is proud and we can all go home and be happy. But that failed. How did it fail? I was trying to keep my thoughts pure. I was trying to keep my actions pure. And many times I'd forget. Actually, it would just be something I think about, and then during the day, I've completely forgotten everything that I talked about, that I'd planned to do. I'd planned not to say this, plan not to say this, and I go through my day and I'm like, I did all the wrong things. And the very same week, maybe the next day, the next 3 days, I have to be on stage and I have to be ministering. And I was so afraid because I felt like everything that's, um, I realized that uh, when I am ministering, it is what's inside me that's being projected onto the people. So, um, what was scaring me was the fact that it wasn't all holiness inside me, it wasn't all purity inside. And I was like, I was having this argument with God because I kept asking Him, you know, that these guys need actual help. They need actual deliverance. But you're calling me, who also needs my own kind of help, my own kind of deliverance, to be here leading them into worship. To be honest, I thought it was about me because, you know, when they put you at the forefront and you have to lead the whole session and you don't really know anything about surrendering to the Lord and all that, you make it all about yourself. So that's what I was doing. I was like, God, I have no capacity to do this. And at that time, it didn't occur to me to ask Him for any help. All I was doing was complaining and telling Him, God, I can't do it, I can't do it, I can't do it. And it reached a point when I, I got so disgusted by the whole ministry, the whole thing. Every single time I got off stage, I would just break down and cry in private because I was like, I I don't get this thing right. My spirit is not that clean, it's not that pure, it's not that holy, but I'm the one who God is choosing to minister to these people. And I don't feel like I'm qualified. And I kept beating myself up for that, beating myself up for that, and condemning myself. And I feel like I don't belong on this stage. This is only for perfect people, people who know how to read their Bibles every day, how to pray every day for 3 hours and stuff like that. I can't do that. I don't know why God is wasting his time on me. Because I felt like if you had called me to perform, sing, and show everybody I can sing, I could work on myself and do that. But you're calling me to actually get into your presence. And I just, I felt like I can't do that. I can't do that for myself. I can't even do it for people. Um, Let me give you some little context. I have grown up in a Christian home and everything, so I know a thing or two about church, about Jesus, and all this basic stuff. But when you put into the spotlight and you're asked to like give what you have, okay, when I was asked to like give what I had, I realized that everything that I had was okay. I had the knowledge, but I wasn't always applying the knowledge that I had from the Bible. So it was kind of pointless, really. And I felt like I didn't have anything to offer. So brings me back to the argument when God put me in this place of ministry, all I was doing was complaining in my heart. Um, we could have sessions where we hype up the people and dance and jump and everything, but at the end of the day, I felt empty because I felt like I'm not giving exactly what I'm supposed to give. Like, this is supposed to be meaningful. This is supposed to be a time when addictions break. This is supposed to be a time when strongholds break. But I'm not being intentional about it. And the vessel which I am is not enough, you know? And I was complaining all the time. So this is where my breakthrough comes in. My breakthrough, which teaches me that it is not about me. Recently, actually, like 2 months ago, yeah, I went to some camp and I had a great time. And God really worked on my spiritual life, really expanded my faith and my trust in Him in an incredible way, and it like positively influenced how I am as a minister, who I am as a minister. Yeah. So we would pray in the morning and then um, praise and worship later on, and that's what I do. So that's what I'll do. So one day we had our prayers as usual early in the morning, and I knew that God had encountered me in a great way. And yeah, that was it. So we get onto stage, and for some reason I feel excited. I feel like I'm carrying something, like I have something on me that's powerful in me, something powerful inside me that's just, yeah, I'm carrying something powerful inside me, yeah. And I knew that it was God's spirit. So we worship, and I realized that as the session was going on and on, I was becoming more free, more I was like getting more comfortable with what I was doing. It was becoming easier for me. I was just flowing. I wasn't focused on the lyrics of the song or whether people are dancing or not, or all of these things that I used to worry about before, like all these results and stuff like that. I was just purely enjoying God's presence. I was worshiping Him, me as myself. And um, I will never forget the breakthroughs that happened in that room that day. Like, this is not even about the breakthroughs, but it's just the fact that I wasn't focusing on my own strength and my own plans and my own power or anything. I was just worshiping. I was just worshiping. I was having fun in God's presence. I was giving Him the glory that He deserves. And He came down and He showed up, and it was crazy. And that's the day when I realized that I really be complicating this thing so much. Yes, God has called me into this place. Yes, He has called me to the forefront or whatever it is. But as much as He has called me there, it is not about me. It has never been about me. God is the one who wants to manifest Himself. He wants to show His power, His healing, His love to us. I have nothing. I have nothing to show. I have nothing to give. He is the one who wants to give whatever He wants to give. And all He wants is a vessel. And that's what He called me to be, just a vessel. You know, a friend of mine said that We are called to be conductors of God's power. We are not the source. Yeah? I've not said it as well as she said it, but you get the point. So I realized that the whole entire time, all God wanted me to be was be a vessel. All God wanted was my body, my voice. That's all He wanted. He will do the speaking, He will do the singing, He will do the leading, He will do the delivering. Like the whole entire time, I thought I had to do it. I thought it was my responsibility. I thought it was in my power. How will I sing? How will I practice? How will I plan? Then people will get delivered. People will get breakthrough. I thought it was about me the whole time. I paraphrased it a lot because I it's a long story, but that's just basically the main point. I made it about me so much, and that day God opened my eyes to seeing that it's about Him. He's the one who wants to show off His power. It's not about me and what I can give, what I can show off. It's about Him. And what helped to release the burden of me of thinking, of trying to, I don't know, live my life a certain way so I could like earn God's anointing and then go out and be successful in my ministry is learning how to surrender. I realized that whether I have it together or I don't, whether I understand what I'm doing or I don't, whether I'm in the mood or I'm not, as long as God has placed me there, all I ever need to do is say, fine, God, take it. Take the wheel, please. Take it. Take control. Take control. Take control. Take control. I refuse to be the one to look for the words to say, to look for the songs to sing. I want you to be the one to give me all of the instructions. That's what I am learning now. And surrender is very important for anyone who wants to be used by God. You have to understand that He's not calling you to show the world what you can do. Because believe it or not, but like people have done the things that you're doing. There's so many people who can sing, there's so many people who can preach. Like, you're not the first one, you're not the last one. Like, there's nothing new about you. But when you allow God to use you, people are not even going to see you, they're going to see God. And this whole entire time, that's what God was trying to teach me. He was trying to teach me that it's not about me. It never was about me. And it took me a really long time to learn that. But now that I actually have the concept in my head, I'm applying it on a daily basis and reminding myself that it's about Jesus. It's about Jesus. It's about Jesus. The light we're shining, it's Jesus' light. This love we're showing to people, it's God's love. This gospel we're preaching, we didn't write it, He did. It's His story. So I hope I've made sense, honestly. I had set up a cute little plan of everything I was supposed to talk about, but it kept disrupting me, so I just decided to speak. And that's basically it, really. I feel like God is so amazing. He's so wonderful. And another thing that I wanted to say is everything that I've gone through with this whole ministry thing, I thought it was for me to grow as a musician or to grow as a worship leader. But I feel like the bigger picture is for me to grow in my relationship with God. Because when I realized that, okay, for me to minister effectively, I have to be in my word, I have to be praying, I have to be fellowshipping, and all of these things. When I started doing those things more consistently, I realized that God is actually amazing. He's actually great. Like, I don't just have to seek Him when I'm going to the stage or when I'm going to do whatever I'm going to do. I can seek Him for my own life. And I realized that's what He wanted from the very beginning. He wanted me to be His friend, He wanted me to be in His space, He wanted me to have a relationship with Him. That's all He wanted. That's why He put me wherever He put me, so I could learn to trust Him, so I could learn to call on Him consistently, constantly, all the time about everything and anything. And that that just makes this whole thing so cool because I realized that okay, so this whole entire purpose for my life is all about having adventures with Jesus. Like that's what it's all about. It's all about experiencing life with Him. It's not about Him sending me out and then I come back and tell Him what I've done. No, it's we go out together. We get this done together. He does miracles. He does this, He does that. And I just sit in awe and worship Him and thank Him and give Him the glory. So, yeah, I realized the bigger picture was for Him to just get my heart. And now he has my heart. And every single day, I'm just growing my relationship with him and growing and getting to know him better. Today, it's not about am I going to sing tomorrow? Am I going to do this? Am I going to be praying for anyone? It's just, I just want to hang out with my God. I want to hang out with the God of the universe. He's my best friend now. And I feel like with all the turmoil that I've gone through with this whole ministry stuff and the more that I'm going to continue going through, I feel like the best reward that I've gotten from it all is knowing Jesus and knowing Him for myself. He's an amazing person. He's amazing. He's the best choice I ever made, you know? And I'm so thankful for that. I've been so nervous when God told me to do all this because I was like, I don't know if my story is going to matter. I don't know if my voice matters. Like, who am I? What do I have to say? But I just have some crazy faith that God can use anything. And for you who's watching this, whatever you're going through, whatever you're doing, um, if you're frustrated about what God has called you to do and you feel like you don't have what it takes to do it and you just feel like God should pick someone else, that frustration should draw you closer to Him. And don't just draw closer to Him to get strength, to get anointing, to get His Spirit so you can go out there and look great. Draw closer to Him for your own good. Just draw closer to Him to know Him for yourself. Just that. Like, pretend you're going into a room to meet someone just to find out who they are, what they want, what they do, what they want from you. You know? I don't know if that makes sense. Feel free to ask. Feel free to ask me questions if it doesn't. But I hope you get my point. Yeah. Um. Yes. I feel like I had so much to say, but I probably touched the main points. There's so much to say. There's so much that I have learned, definitely, and I guess I'll keep talking about it. But for now, this is what I'm going to be giving you guys, and I thank God for giving me the courage to do this because I was not going to do it, but well, here I am. I hope you have been blessed by this story. I'm encouraging all teenage girls out there who God has called into ministry and you feel like you have all these insecurities and whatever, or teenage boys or whatever. I believe that God is focusing so much on the youth. Of course, He's working with other people, but I just believe that there's a strong emphasis on the youth to expand God's kingdom. And I hope this meets the right person and encourages them and reminds them that, hey, you got this. But most importantly, give it to God. Give it to God. When you get it, give it to God. When you understand what it's all about and you see how overwhelming it is, give it to God. He's always going to work it out. Somewhere, somehow, crazy things happen, things beyond your control, and you're like, how did this happen? And you know it wasn't you, it was Him. Yeah, that's what happens when you surrender. Okay, I think I've spoken so much, but that's it. I strongly encourage you to ask questions where you feel like you haven't understood what I was saying. I will be very glad, very happy to answer them. Thank you so much for listening to me. Yes, I love you all. God bless and keep you safe.